Simply means only one hope. There is no other way. It is a stab, means it's a dead end. Only one road I have to go anywhere. Only one direction, one road. I don't have other road, other direction to go. If I want to go to airport or want to go to market or anywhere on the world, if I want to go from my home, there is only one street and one direction. I don't have other street, alternate paths. That is it. I don't have an alternate path. I don't have more than one gateway. So, Stub has got only one gateway to go anywhere, any destination. Only one gateway. When we have a router like this, and for some destination, the router will forward the traffic this way to this router. For some other destination, it will send via this way to this router. Then this router R2 is not stub. It is not stub because some destinations are behind R1. Some destinations are behind R3. So you can't call R2 as a stub. But when there is no router here, this is the first router. For this router to go to any unknown destination, first it has to go to R2. Whether it is going to this network or somewhere on the earth, this is the only gateway. For R1, this is the only gateway, which means R1 is a stub router. This is the meaning that we see about stub router when we learn static route. In EIGRP, somewhat similar. The meaning of stub is same, but the way that they work, the represented, the problem that they solve is slightly different from EIGRP and static route in OSPF. In OSPF, stub has got much more meaning. For example, if you see, when we have multiple areas, area 1, area 2, 3, area 0. Actually, all these areas need to be connected to backbone area. We all know that. OSPF follows this hierarchical design. Without area 0, it is not possible for a network, a device in the network in area 1 to reach device in the network in area 3. Not possible. Without area 0, the routes will not get distributed from area 1 to area 3 and area 3 to area 1, likewise with area 2 as well. Now, if you see, there is only one gateway here. There is only one gateway for area 3 members. There is only one gateway for area 2 members. Now, this area member If they want to go to anywhere on earth, anywhere in the topology, it may be area 2, area 3, or area 0, it may be some other area. If they want to ping anyone in other area, they must go through this particular point. Even though inside I got many routers, to come to this point I can come like this, I can come like this. According to this router, you are not stuck. But this is not a static route to talk about a single router. This is not a static route we are talking. We are dealing with OSPF stuff. OSPF has got area. So we need to speak with respect to area. We need to see stub with respect to area. Right. So we can make these areas as stub areas if we want to avoid learning routes that you may feel less important. See, for area 1 member, all the area 1 members are frequent talkers. That's why you put them in one area. Likewise, all the area 2 members are frequent talkers. That's why you group them in one area called area 2. So likewise area 3. So you got multiple areas. Within the area, the members are frequent talkers. They may belong to a department, or they may belong to a network that has got common policies. That is why you have grouped them in different. All those have got common policy in one area. Likewise, you got multiple areas. Between area 1 and area 2, they don't frequently talk, but they do talk. They don't frequently talk. They talk once in a while. And so like area 3 as well. They talk sometime. Area 2 talks to area 3, area 1 talks to area 2 and 3, area 3 talks to 2 and 1, so on. But they are not frequent talkers, that's important to know. And also we got another router here, which is connected to another internet, and we are learning route via EIGRP, assume. So what we do is we redistribute EIGRP into OSPF. We redistribute EIGRP into OSPF. Such router we call it as ASBR. Those router where we do redistribution. Now for area 1, to go to those EIGRP network, EIGRP network, this is the only gateway. So in simple, what I want to say is, for area 1, if they want to go to other area, this is the only router. If you want to go to other autonomous system, this is another autonomous system. This is the only exit for area 1 members. The ABR is the only exit, which means this area is a stub area Every single area is a stub area except area 0. When we saw in static route, that was one single router, focus the stub. But here we are talking about sorry. Here we are talking about OSPF, which has got multiple areas. So we need to speak as per the hierarchy design, not per router. Not per router. Hierarchical design. Area by default learns a route coming from ASBR and route coming from other areas. If you wish, you can tell OSPF actually this area I want to be a stub. See, actually it is a stub, but OSPF need to be informed about the stub. See, what we do in static route, when we see a stub router, we write a default route. We write a default route. In static route, when we learn static route for the first time when we were in CCNA, we learned that instead of writing every destination route statically to the routing table, which takes a lot of line of code and time, and if any network goes down, you need to go and alter it. Instead of doing that, we can just put one default route. So to anywhere, the default route will be used to reach. That's what we learned when we learned in static route. Now we are in OSPF, so in OSPF we got different type of LSAs. We can do much better thing than what we did in static route. I can tell OSPF, you see, those routes coming from EIGRB, don't give me. Don't give me, please. I rarely talk. That's another autonomous system. Then why I need to learn those 1,000 network coming from EIGRP into my routers? Not necessary. Very rarely I speak to them. So please filter those advertisements, LSs. I can specify, I can say. Or I can also say, you see, even to the other areas. I don't speak much. And also, these routers are small routers. They cannot accommodate all the routes of area 2, area 3, and EIGRP. They cannot. They got very less buffer. So, I want you to filter even those networks coming from area 2 and area 3. And just provide me a default route. Provide a default route so that all these routers, if they want to go to area 2 or area 3 or internet, they can use the default route and come up to here. And because this is also a member of area 0, it knows a clear route where to send. It is also a member of area 0. It has got a clear route It knows very well where to send. But these routers, they don't have all routes. They only got routes of their own area. For the rest of the area and for the ASBR network, they got only default route. All got only a default route because we have configured it as stub. See, there's a big advantage. You have not done any summarization, but your routing table is going to be short and simple, more than what a summarization can do. Now, summarization is telling what we are going to advertise. Stub says what we will see in our routing table, what we have in our routing table, what we learn in our routing table. That's a quite different, big difference. So, because we got various type of authentication, we can tell OSPF what to filter, and to reach the filtered network, give a default route. Let me come to the final, the main picture of a stub. If I configure this area as a stub, what does that mean? I'm asking this ABR, which is the gate of this area, to control the advertisement distribution. Means advertisements like type 3, type 4, type 5 or coming. What is type 3? Coming from other area. We used to see in the routing table as OIA. This is how in routing table it will show. If it is the network from the same area, it will have O. Because it is also coming from other area, it's OIA. OIA, inter area. That is type 3 LSA. If you see in the routing table, this IA means we have this router has learned from LSA type 3. Now, when you see OE1 or 2, which means you have learned through type 5. What is type 5? Coming from other autonomous system, EIGRP in our case. EIGRP routes. You see, let's say from EIGRP you have learned 1000 routes. From other area via type 3 you have learned 700 routes, for example. Now I don't want this 1000 route in any of this router in the area. I don't want this 1000 route in any of this router in this area. Yeah, I don't want. So what should we do? Simple. Configure that area as stub. When we configure the area as a stub, what does it mean? Go to all this router and say, hey, you are not normal OSPF router. You are a stub router. You belong to the area which is a stub, meaning it will not permit type 5 to come in. The ABR of this area is not going to allow type 5 and 4. Is 3 allowed? Yes, 3 is allowed. 3 is allowed. When you configure all these routers as a stub router, ABR of that area takes one responsibility. What? To provide a default route so that you can still ping that EIGRP network. Repeating again. You configured this area as a stub. As a result, this 1000 routes disappears, got removed from these routers. You are very happy. Wow, my routing table is now better in shape. Earlier it was too big, 1000 lines only from external, and it was very difficult for me to go through these lines. Too many lines in routing table. Now, boom, like that, 1000 routes disappeared. You're happy. Now, you still reach those 1000 networks. You're much more happy now. 1000 routes, which was a burden for me in the routing table, is removed. You're very happy. Now, what is the issue? Is there any issue? Do we still reach EIGRP route? Yes, we still reach EIGRP route. How is that possible? That is what the responsibility of our ABR. ABR not only filters type 4 and 5, it also gives a default route. See, I'm filtering 4 and 5, but don't worry. It says, don't worry. I'm here now, don't worry. Just give it to me. I will take care. Any network you do not know, don't worry. You give it to me. I'll take care. This is what ABR will tell. ABR will automatically tell. When you configure that area as a stub, ABR will automatically tell this. So ABR takes care of reducing the routing table shape in all the routers in this area. ABR takes care of taking those traffics that wants to go to those filtered networks by providing a default route. See, the concept may look like, oh, we are filtering type 4 and 5. We are filtering type 4 and 5. And a default route is given so that even to those filtered routes, the routers can reach. It looks like simple. But if you want to achieve this in other routing protocol, is it that simple? Try to do in BGP. You will write access list, you will write prefix list, you will write route map, you will apply that in BGP, pointing towards a neighbor, in and out direction. A lot of things will come to achieve this one thing. So, because we have identified the external routes as type 5, we can easily do this in OSPF. Simply go and block all type 5. Problem solved. You don't need to write any access lists saying match those EIGRP network routes. You don't need to do those things. Match this and that. OSPF knows which advertisements are coming from other autonomous system. It knows it as type 5. So as soon as you configure stub, EIGRP says, Roger, sir. Let me go and block all type 5. Finished. Not only that, OSPF injects a default route to every router. That is very, 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 very important to know. So you still reach those EIGRP 1000 routes with no route in the routing table in area 1. That's the beauty. The size of routing table is considerably changed, reduced, much reduced. Yeah. Type 4, which is bringing the router ID, means the location of ASBR. Type 5, which brings the networks of those external autonomous system, are blocked. When we configure an area system. Next is not so stub. So stub drops all these LSEs right in the border of the area. See, this router still knows those EIGRP routes because this is also a member of area 0. It's a ABR. But none of these routers will know. But still they can reach because they got a default route towards the ABR, which can take them anywhere they want. Advantages: you did not do any summarization, you did not any sort of difficult filtering to achieve this. No access list, no prefix list. You're able to filter exactly those routes only that comes from external autonomous system. Next is totally stub. Totally stub. Totally stub. Not so stub will come later. Next. Now it is totally stub. See the word total. Means what? The only one thing that is left without filtering is type 3, isn't it? Type 4, type 5, type 3. These are the three things that comes from outside. You remember type 1 and 2, they are local. And let's say type 2 and 1 is local. Type 3, 4, 5 comes from other area. And now we have enabled stub so that type 4 and 5 will be denied. But what if I want a default route only, no routes to other areas? I just want a default route to reach other area also. I want only default route. Right now, when your type 3 is allowed, you have a specific route to reach this network. To reach this network, you have precise route to reach other area routes. But what is the use? What is the use of me having it? That's what you think. What is the use when I have only one exit? If this is the only way I need to go to this area as well as the external, I can simply have a default route. So if you feel like that, I do not want to learn other area routes. Whether I learn or not, I have to go to ABR to go out. So why can't I have a default route towards the ABR using one single line of default route? I'll go to ABR and ABR will route me to area 2 and area 3. So that I no need to buy big routers for every single segment in this area 1. I'll have simple routers inside, and in only ABR I'll put high-end routers. Because inside routers are not going to have other area routes as well as external autonomous system. So when I say totally stub, I mean even the type 3 which is left, that also, that's the meaning of totally. That one also, it is not stub just filtering only external. It is totally stub. Actually, this is not at all in industry standard. Industry standard says, hey, this is OSPF route coming from other area. We should allow them. But Cisco says, this is my standard. I don't want type 3 also, because this is the only router to go to other area as well as to go to external. If I can block the external LSA and use a default route, why can't I use the same default route to reach other area by blocking other area routes? It's a good argument. It's a good idea that Cisco has come up with. So we will not see this in any other vendor. In other vendors, other area networks will always be seen. You cannot filter them, but in Cisco, by configuring the area as a totally stub area, you are telling the ABR router to filter type 3 also. To filter type 3 also. That is why it is total. Everything that is coming from outside, block it. So now, I told you there are around 700 routes coming from other area. Now you have no 700, no 1000, like 1700 routes disappears from all these routers inside this area 1. But in ABR you will still have it because it is also a member of area 0. I want to tell you something. This border routers, no, because they belong to 2 different area, they will have 2 LSA type 1, one for area 1, another for area 0. They will have 2 LSA type 2, one for area 1, another for area 2. Likewise, the database, link state database itself will be 2. That's the secret. The link state database itself will be 2. One for the backbone area, the other one for the regular area. Sorry. So when you configure area 1 as a totally stub, the type 4, 5 and 3 will not be seen in area 1's database. It will not be seen in area 1's database, but it will be seen in area 0's database of the same router. Yeah. All right. So that is totally stub. I would like to briefly explain the other two, then I'll take you to the lab to do these two things in detail, after which we'll do other two in detail. So first, listen, we need to do this two topic lab. But before that, I just want to introduce you to other two stub also, just introduction, and then we'll finish this lab. After that, we'll go to that lab, that other two things that we learned. That. So this is the plan. Now we have learned these two. Do you have any question? Please ask me question on these two stuff. And I'll go to the other two. Introduction. Not so stubby area. This one and next one is what most of the people do not know. This one and next one. Many do not know. And some knows half the story. In another word, some knows but no clarity for them. Not so stubby area. Most of the people who say they know not so stubby area will say this. It allows LSA type 7 instead of type 5. That's all they will say. And if you ask them more, they will say, instead of type 5, those EHRP roots will come in the form of type 7. And if you ask them more questions, they will escape. Hey, why should I receive type 7 instead of type 5? It's already type 5 now. And you're going to convert the same thing into type 7. And you're allowing it. Earlier you blocked it. You blocked the type 5. Now you're saying I'm allowing us type 7. Oh, then why you did that blocking? Why first place you blocked type 5? No answer. Now I'm asking you a question. You have also come across to OSPF. Tell me, why should I allow type 7 instead of type 5? Have you come across this question anywhere in an interview?
No, I don't know much about these issues. I don't have any experience, but it's not
Okay. So no one asked you in the interview this. Okay. So not so stub area means, see, stub area we understood like it blocks type 5. Stub area. I'm not talking about total stub. I'm saying stub area. This first one. Stub area means external networks are denied. Type 4 and 5 are denied. But now you are saying stub area, but not so stub area. Not that much stub, That's what you are saying. Stub only, but not that much stub. I'm a good person, but not that much good. That's how people will say if they are speaking from their heart. If they want to speak truth, they'll say, hey, I want to be good. It's very difficult for me to be good in this earth. I'm doing my best. So I'm not so good. Sometimes the human nature gets angry when we see something and we are not able to be good all the time. We want to be always peacemaker, sharing love, being a real good human being, but not always possible for us to maintain that peace in us when we see some irritating thing around us. We are not so good, but we want to be good. Is what many people's testimony from their heart. For example, you see things going around on earth. I'm just deviating from the study a little bit because we have to speak for truth. One gentleman whom I love very much from my young age, I used to hear from him speaking in television called Peace Television, Peace TV. He was standing for his faith. He speaks for what he believes, his faith. I used to see him as an advocate of Allah, the Almighty. Such a wonderful man of God who speaks boldly for the faith that he has got in televisions. He's been mocked and treated like a criminal today in India. When many criminals are roaming around in every streets of India freely, who has done real crimes are still freely roaming around in India, not being punished or questioned, just for proclaiming the faith that he has got, a godly man, is being mocked. Then what sort of country we are in? India is going to hell, is becoming a hell. Dr. Zahir Nayak, the best man in this earth. See, if you cannot speak for your own faith, you cannot stand strong for your own faith, then what kind of man you are if you cannot take a strong decision, speak boldly for what you believe. That man did it. But now he is seen as a man of some hated speech or something, they say. Even I speak. See, now I am speaking. This also they will consider as hated speech against India. I'm just expressing the anger when I see something going wrong in India. But they will say, hey, this guy is anti Indian. Hated speech. This I'm going on YouTube now. That's what the same result I'll get. So, whoever speaks truth, whoever stands for truth, whoever proclaim love through religion, they give a banner. These guys are religious guys. As if, they say this guy's a criminal. Religious is not criminal, not equal to criminal. Because we have religious people on earth, earth still prevails. Otherwise, long time back, it would have become hell. Religion is what keeps human as human. You cannot condemn others' religion because they are in that religion. You still have peace in your house. They obey God's command. So when I see some news last 2 days, treating him, talking about him like a criminal, especially some news called India Times or something, I can understand this media is fraud. and and it's just with central government speaking all this thing, not the truth. Whatever the central government wants to hear, they speak. Only God will judge these people. We cannot, because they have power. They will do all nonsense to us. All right. So what I'm coming to say here is in the OSPF, not so stubby area is a stub area, but not so. Meaning, I deny type 5, but still I have an external root. What is your question? How is that? Then why did you deny? You said you denied, and you say you still have the external root as type 7. Yeah, as type 7. That is what this means. Allows type 5 instead of type, sorry, allows type 7 instead of type 5. Allows type 7 instead of type 5. Means what? It is allowing external roots. Allows external route, but it claims to be stub. Stub means it needs to block the external route. Here it allows, then what it blocks? And what is the meaning of this stub if it allows external route?
So it means like it left all the roots
Hmm?
of type 4.
No, there is no route for type 4. Type 4 is simply advertising the.
I mean, from stub area, I mean, from stub area, you just delete the type 4.
Hmm.
Like
No. See, listen. Sorry for interrupting. Without knowing type 4, you will not know the location of ASBR.
correct.
So for external network, you must have type 4. Anyway, so this is not dealing with type 4. Type 4 will not, even though type 4 is very important for external network, in this not so stubby area, type 4 is not necessary. I'll tell you how and why when we go to the actual meaning of NSSA. Still, I have not explained you the actual need of NSSA. I am trying to explain repeatedly a lot of things about NSSA to make you think what is NSSA. Then, even at a point, you will understand why do you need NSSA. What is that? What is this solving? And that is the time I have to give you the solution. That is the time I need to give the actual explanation so that you will be convinced. So I'm just making you to think, probing you to think. Uh, why do we need this? Not so stubby as Taberia blocks, and not so stubby allows. Then why in first place you blocked? And if you want to allow, you convert that 5 into 7 so that you can allow, because 5 is blocked. Why you blocked? Why did you convert it again to 7? And why you are allowing it? These are all the questions that we should understand, get in our mind when we talk about not so stable. Not so stable area. Fine, let me go to the answer. I think you already started thinking why we need this. As I told you earlier, This is industry standard. This is also industry standard. The word totally, the stub is Cisco. Now going back. What is this solving? For that, we need a special topology. Not so stub area is appropriate only in a particular design. For example, I have area 0. I got other areas connected. We got multiple areas connected. And we got backbone area. Connected via ABR. These red rounds are ABRs. And also we got internet connected in 2 different places. That's the important story. I got internet in 2 different places. This is the scenario where you may need not so stub area. I'm going to come to the point very soon. 2 different area. We got ISP 1, ISP 2. 2 service providers are connected in 2 different part of our OSPF network. The one which is in area 2 is right in the middle of right in the backbone. And maybe for backup, you have connected another ISP which is in area 1. So we can call this as a backup internet, primary internet. This may be an idea for you when you took 2 connections. And ISP is connected to one of the router in the backbone. Like this. And I'll call this as ABR1, ABR3, ABR4. Listen carefully. To this router here, and also to this router here, to this router here, to this router here. The ABRs of that particular area will announce the location of ASBR. This is the ASBR. Let's say the router ID is 1.1.1.1. So from here an advertisement will come. From here only it originates. Type 4 originates from border. That's why it is called a summarization. Let's say summarization point it comes from. So this is an ABR. where we redistribute from internet into OSPF. That internet may be EIGRP, just for example, or BGP. That redistribution point is what ASBR is, and the router ID of that router is not starting from here. No. Type 4 is not advertised from here. Type 4 is advertised by the ABR of area 0. All these routers are ABR. See how many ABRs now area 0 has got. How many ABRs area 0 has got? 4 ABRs. So area 0 should never be configured as stub area. Never. Area 0 should never be configured as stub. Yeah. So area 1, area 2, area 3, area 4, they are ABRs. They have ABRs. They have only one ABR. So they can be configured as stub area. Area 1, area 2, area 3, area 4 can be configured as stub area because they got only one ABR. Area 0 cannot be configured as stub area because they got multiple ABRs. So that's one point which I should have told you in the beginning. Area 0 should never be, cannot be configured as stub area. Now coming back to the story. Type 4 originates from ABR. Likewise, listen. Here also we have one router. Here also we have one router as ABR. Let's say the router ID is 7.7.7.7. Yeah. This is an ABR. Now who will advertise type 4 for this area? Who will advertise type 4 for this area? This guy. So for this ABR, in this direction, type 4 goes. For this ABR, ASBR, not ABR, ASBR. For this ASBR, 777, type 4 goes in this direction. For this ASBR, type 1 comes in this direction. Type 4, 1.1.1.1. Type 4 is the router ID of ASBR. The type 4 will come from multiple places because you got ISPs connected in multiple places. For ISP 1, ABR 1 will advertise type 4 to the backbone. That is how the other areas ABR will take it and distribute it. The only one that advertises about ISP 1 is ABR 1. Whereas About ISP2, ABR1 is advertising, but in another direction, inside area 1. ABR2 is advertising inside area 2, and area 3, and area 4 about 1.1.1.1. Okay, I'm asking you a question just to check whether you understood or not. Who will advertise 777 to this router K? To this router K, who will be advertising about type 4 777?
So which one is the router? Oh, okay. So it will advertise ABR router is connected with router 0 and the area 1. I mean, there
Okay, no, that's not the answer. Please pay attention. Thank you for your response. Please pay attention. Listen, I told you this router, which is in area 1, is an ASBR. This is an ASBR. The ABR of that ASBR, which is ABR1, advertises it. And this learns it, this learns it, this learns it, even this guy learns it. ABR3 learns it. Now ABR3 will generate saying me giving it. Listen, this is the important thing. It is not saying this ABR gave. It will say to K router that I am giving you, ABR3 giving you type 4. So ABR3 is going to give two type 4 address. One is 7.7.7.7. Another one is 1.1.1.1. You got it? Actually, the 7.7.7.7 is not in area 0, it is in area 1. So for area 3 members, going to this ABR is very long distance. Comparing this to the K router will decide to go to this ABR 1.1.1.1, which is cheaper in order to go to internet. That's why it is primary. Now coming to the story. Before that, I want to ask you a question. Area 2, area 3, area 4. Area 2, area 3, area 4. Which ISP they will take? Will it take ISP2 primary, or will it take ISP1 primary? Which one it will take? ISP1 backup.
ISP2
Primary. Okay. Correct. Because that ABR is the shortest ABR to reach. So they will all go there. Now, for some reason, the cost here is, let's say, 100. The cost here is only 1 inside our organization. Even these routers will go to this ISP 2, which you don't like. See, I'm trying to explain you the scenario where NSSA is needed. When you have a local ISP, you should exit like this so that you will not waste the resource of your own network. You don't need to go and consume the bandwidth and process of your own routers in the path here. If you go like this, a lot of routers and resources you are killing, you're using. Your intention is to avoid that, so you prefer to use this ISP rather than the ISP which other areas are using. Only when this fails, you want to take this. See, when this fails, Anyway, all are going to use this, no doubt, because 111 is gone, 777 is reachable, so they all will use 777. There is no doubt. Likewise, you have a policy like, as long as this is alive, at least the area 1 member should use this. Area 1 member should use this. At least area 1 members. That is the scenario where NSS says coming. Listen, we have configured this as stub, which means type 5 that is coming, type 4 and 5 that is coming from here about this ISP is denied, isn't it? Denied. Automatically it will go this way, because the local ASBR type 5 is converted as type 7. Look at the meaning, why you need to convert, because type 5 is denied. The other area, other areas type 4 and 5 is denied, but still you need a route to reach internet. So what this router does is, this router is also part of area 1, which is configured as not so stub area. So this router realizes that it is not stubby. Okay, then let me take my type 5 and send it as type 7, so that all these routers will learn the precise route and they will prefer coming this way. Type 4 and type 5 you denied, so default route is coming. When there is a precise route, why it will use default route? Even though cost is high, the route is preferred route. The route is specific, very specific. Maximum prefix length will be matched in the routing table, not the default route. It's more specific because you have learned all the routes into the routing table. Whereas for other ISP, you are just getting only one default route. So as long as the precise routes are available, it will use the precise route and go to ISP1. It won't take ISP2. It won't take ISP2. All right. This is the reason why we need not so stub area. Now there is another one called, see again I'll be explaining you this in the lab. I said only introduction. The other one is Cisco's. Totally not so stub area. Totally. So whenever the total comes, here when total came, what was added? Type 3 was added in the block list, isn't it? Same thing here. Totally not so stub area. See, not so stub area was denying type 4, type 5. Now, because you said totally not so stub area, type 4, 5 and 3 also added. Wherever totally comes, type 3 is added in the block list. So now your routing table will have, please understand, when you configure totally not so stub area, this area's routing table will have specific routes to the internet via the local ISP, specific route to the internet via the local ISP, ISP1 backup, and it will have default route to everyone other than this. Means to go to area 2, default route only. Go to area 3, default route only. If you want to go to other ISP, if there is some problem with this ISP, again the same default route only. So because type 3 is denied, in the area routers of not so stubby area, what you will have is type 1, type 2, type 7. LSA type 7. LSA type 7 is giving you the internet routes via the local ASBR. L1 and L2 is giving LSA type 1 and LSA type 2 is giving the routes of your own local area network, specific routes of your own local area network. Right? So this is about stub in OSPF. We need to do this lab. So in short, totally not so stub area, we'll have specific routes of that area, routes to reach that area network. It will also have routes to reach internet via the local ASBR, and it will have only a default route to reach other area as well as other autonomous system. Got it?
So L1 is by default.
Yeah, that is local.
And L7 basically.
It's because of NSSA. Because we configured NSSA. And total, because we said total stub area, type 3, 4, and 5 is denied. Type 3 is coming from other area, 4 and 5 is coming from other autonomous system, not local autonomous system. Default is for reaching other area, and in case if this ISP is not giving route to reach Yahoo, then it will use default route to go here. It prefers the local ASBR's exit. If local ASBR don't have information, then it will use the default route to go to other ASBR. In case if it wants to go to internet. Fine then.